What's up, guys? David here. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my lawn care business, Alabama Lawn Management here in New Market, Alabama. I wanted to piggyback off the last one, my one-star review, and talk about something I've learned through doing this the past 4 years. I've watched other YouTubers talk about it, and this can go with anything with your pressure washer business, your maid service, just whatever business you might be running. Maybe this will help you. Maybe if you're just a worker in a warehouse or something, it could help. But what I've learned this year from previous years is I've always been warned on taking on too much work, not charging enough, blah, 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 know your value, blah, and all that good stuff, okay? Those are all different talking points. They're all over YouTube, and I'll probably talk about them eventually too, because the word needs to get out to all these different professions and stuff. So this year is the first year I'm starting. I'm really towards now, I'm learning my pricing does need to come up with certain customers and stuff, or just let them go. Because I took on more this year. I was doing 60 yards a week solo, which for a lot of people that's gonna sound horrible, especially in Alabama with the heat we get in the summer. And then like this past week we had a hurricane, so it bumped people back, and people weren't happy with that. So I mean, it is what it is. Can't help the weather, but if I have a helper or another crew, we can do more faster, obviously, before I get burnt out. After about 10 or 12 yards, I'm pretty burnt out. That 13th and 14th yard, no matter what I do, I can try to get them as good as the others, but we're all human. We get tired, things will slip. And they haven't this year as bad, but I have kind of learned, basically you don't need to do that in essence. So took on too much work this year. Pricing wasn't right. Made good money though, because I don't think my pricing's bad. It's just not where I need to be for what I want to do. So what I ended up doing is over this past month or so, I've had a few houses I know that I've been servicing have sold. I've had to let go of some of the bottom dwellers, some of those slow payers. I hate to say complainers, but you're always going to have that customer that just something always isn't right. But at the end of the year, I'm going to dissolve some more on the outskirts of my route, start condensing it in, because about three and a half days now, I'm a lot closer to my central location, and that makes it easier. I can do more when they're that close together. When they're spread out, at best I do what, 10, 12 yards a day. Maybe if I condense them down, they're smaller, I can jump that up to 15, even solo. But the prices have to come to reflect that, because I started doing the math, and there's a big thing on YouTube among lawn care guys, know your numbers. And that's what I didn't know. So I did my numbers, but I wasn't doing it with what I wanted to be paid, so I thought I was doing really good. Well, when I added in what I wanted to be paid, all of a sudden that profit margin went way down. So I can't afford to hire anybody right now with what I'm doing, and that's not a good thing. So next year, that's what we're going to do. And I kind of give you a little extra here, I guess, is I just had 2 quotes. I told you about the last video. I lost the one dude. He's a $50 mow bi-weekly that I lost with my low review. But pretty much I lost him, what, Thursday or Friday of last week. Saturday I had 2 new estimate requests for lawn care in my area. They're about the same size yard, same style house, all that stuff. Sent them bi-weekly estimates at $50 a piece, each of them $50. One lady never called me back. The guy that I gave a quote to called me back, and he wanted weekly. So now I'm doing him weekly for, of course, a lower amount or whatever. I'm doing them for $42. We'll throw that out there. I'm not hiding anything. $42 a week, which is definitely more in my profit range. At least I'm making some money too, on top of paying all my bills, insurance, all that, paying me. So I'm excited about that. The other lady never called me back, and that's fine. There's competition here galore, but I need customers that need more. They want their hedges trimmed, they want mulch. I'm hoping to get better into aerations, buy an aerator next year. So I need more customers that I don't want to say farm, but that are willing to spend more money with me, and that I can spend more time and become more of a boutique type lawn service, because I don't want to grow big. I definitely don't want to get over the $250,000 mark, which of course that would involve employees to get there. But if I could do, whatever amount's comfortable for me solo, and I could do less yards, if I can start doing 10 yards a day, that's no problem. Doing 10 yards a day, 50 yards a week, that's no problem. I can get that pretty easy. Getting up to 60, amazingly, that 10-yard difference makes a huge difference. So if I can get pricing right and do about 50 yards a week, and then maybe have hedge trim and mulching on the side, makes a huge difference. So you need to know your numbers. raise your prices that are justified. Now, there's a point in the market where, you know, people just aren't going to pay it, and that's fine. You just have to find that thing, and then you have to become more efficient to that. But my whole main point of this, because I'm starting to digress, is you need to know what you can handle, and you need to price accordingly and figure out how you can do it and make yourself run more efficient, whether with your accounting stuff, you have a good program like Yardbook or Jobber or Service Autopilot to help you automate your business and make life easier for you. And then figure out the physical part of work. What can you handle every week? Do you not want to work weekends? Do you want to work 6 days a week, 7 days a week? I don't. I have a little girl. I've got a wife. I want to work my 5 days a week. I want to be done by 3 o'clock, and I want to be supported to do it, and that's on me. I have to find the efficiencies and stay in market pricing to do that. So my advice to everybody out there is, when you're just starting out, of course, you got to take whatever you can, do all you can to get going. When you kind of get that base and start moving, as a lot of these guys say, dissolve the bottom, refill the top. You know, some people aren't going to want to pay it. That's fine. Some are going to see the value in having you. Some are going to want to pay you a little more to make sure you go that extra mile to take care of their yard, pressure washing their house, Christmas lights, whatever service you're doing. Be able to handle them better and spend that extra 5 minutes there, because just 5 minutes extra can take the difference between your project looking okay to a 5-star looking lawn, and that'll give you that extra motivation to keep your blades sharp, to keep your nozzles clean, to keep your truck clean, you know, whatever it is, to buy the right uniforms and replace them as they become torn, and just all that kind of stuff that just helps you look more professional and get the job done. So yeah, that's my main point. Don't take on more work than you can handle. Don't overextend yourself, because you're going to hate your job. You're going to make customers upset. So just stay on task. And like I said, keep trying to get those prices up to find your market, and then run efficiently, run real lean, so that you can pay yourself nice and start a profit margin. And when you start that profit, you can start going into possibly employees. And I'm not going to talk on employees ever, until I start getting some. If I do that route, because I don't have any experience in it, so I can't tell you about that. But that would be my idea, is that you should be able to get some money in your bank account and maybe start getting to where you can't handle everything. Then you can go, then you have money to get an employee, because they're going to cost workman's comp, their insurance, their taxes, a lot of money to do employees and have them on your staff correctly and legally. So that's my message for today. Run lean, run fast, don't take on more than you can handle, and keep people happy and keep yourself happy. That's the big one I'm learning with this business. You're self-employed for yourself, so that you don't have to answer to a boss, you just have to answer to customers. But if you're not making yourself happy, you might as well go back to a 9-to-5, looking at a computer and punching numbers on it and having no stress that way. But anyway, y'all have a good one. Roll Tide.